Hello guys, welcome back to WCW 1995. We're continuing where we left off and we're starting to run the first ever episode of WCW Monday Nitro. Before we get into booking the show, we've got a couple of locker room incidents. While we deal with these, I'll tell you about how I plan for this to go. Please say so I think it is awesome. Anderson and Joey Maggs. Joey Maggs is a WCW jobber, but I want to make it. I feel like he can become the newest member of the Four Horsemen. That's never going to happen. The way I'm going to run this series, we'll give Road Warrior Hawk a stern warning we'll give him a slap on the wrist. Okay, it's sensitive about going overboard. In fact, we'll go for a Fowler relay approach. It won't happen again. That's not the best. At least we don't have a negative effect from it. So that's quite good in a way. Anyway, we'll start booking our show. This series, the way I'm going to run it... Oh my god, that's weird. Edit defaults. I'll need to change that next time. Is going to be a mix between how I run my GFW series and how I run my JCP series. So for Nitro, I'll go through, and the pay-per-views, I'll go through booking all the shows. Whereas for Saturday night, which is 2 hours long and is mostly going to be, jobber matches, I'll just run through the results in in the next video. But anyway, we'll start with this. So we're starting our first ever episode of Nitro. I don't want to change things up too much because the first episode of Nitro, if you have the network, I'd recommend watching it because it's actually pretty good. So we're going to open with the exact same match that the original Nitro opened with, which is Brian Pillman and Jushin Thunder Liger, which is a hell of an opening match for a show. I'm quite lucky because sometimes with this mod, the one thing I dislike about it is if you start, sometimes you can have New Japan running shows at the same day, because I've had that problem in the past, but luckily this save that I've started, they've not touring on this day, so that's quite good. All out match, no script. All out match and work the crowd. So that's going to be our, all action opener. So folk who are watching will be like, I need to keep watching WCW. I mean, GFW, they recently debuted from their TV tapings and they did the exact same thing. We're going to have a slight change. We're not going to have Hogan versus Big Bubba Rogers as the main event. We're going to have a Randy Savage and Meng match, solely because I want a Randy Savage match. And given the recent stuff about Hogan, I'm not entirely sure I want to use him anymore. I might end up firing him somehow. Pinfall, yeah. And for our main event, so promoted up to the main event from being the mid-card match, we'll have Ric Flair and Sting for Sting's US title. US title. And that's 13 minutes. And Sting's going to win. And to build up one of our storylines we're going to run, Arn Anderson is going to distract Ric Flair. I know what you're thinking, Arn Anderson and Ric Flair are usually close allies. What's going on here? Well, this time period, as you can see, we've got all our storylines here. I'm going to add Arn Anderson to this so he can be the main focal point. Basically, Flair started almost, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like bad-mouthing Anderson, like running him down, acting like he was like a bit of a piece of trash. Which wasn't a nice thing to do. I mean, the guy's his friend. And then Arn Anderson was like, I'll prove I'm better than you, Rick. So then they had a feud. And it was quite a good match, actually. I'd recommend watching that too. Fall Brawl 95. Steals the show. It's a very good match. I'm going to do that match. So then, we're going to have Hulk Hogan. He's going to cut promo on the Dungeon of Doom, specifically Kevin Sullivan, who's under the Taskmaster? Yeah. Basically, I'm going to get rid of the Dungeon Doom very quickly, but this is just to build up to the War Games match. Same with the Meng and Randy Savage match. We're going to have Anderson cut a promo on Ric Flair. No, not a generic one. Promo. Singles. There we go. I actually really like the Anderson Flair rivalry. I wouldn't recommend watching much of this time period, but if you do, watch. Let's see. There's got to be a saves from attack, standard attack and save. Okay, here we go. So after Hulk Hogan's interview, he's going to be attacked by. We want 2 members of the Dungeon of Doom that are main eventers. So let's have the Giant and Zodiac come out. They're beating down Hulk Hogan, and who makes the save than the debuting Lex Luger as the 4th member of Hogan's team for the upcoming War Games match. So that's quite a big angle. And then finally, to sort of set up this Anderson Ric Flair feud, we're going to have Ric Flair cut promo and Sting, and as Flair is cutting his promo, he's going to be like running down Arn Anderson a bit, being a bit of a jerk. So that's going to open, I think. It's a pretty good show. Unfortunately, we can't run it in the Mall of America and promote Pastamania at the same time, which was Hulk Hogan's pasta restaurant. Yeah, it was a thing. It was terrible, apparently. But it does mean we have that amazing image of Hulk Hogan with a pasta spoon. It's amazing. And the chef's hat. It's amazing. Anyway, let's run this first episode of Monday Nitro and see how things go. I better make sure I save before I run it. Yes, I want to start the show. So instead we're in the Pyramid Arena, which I think is in Atlanta, but I'm not sure. An angle featuring Ric Flair. Flair cuts a promo, hyping up his match with Sting. Got us an 85, which is a very good rating. Basically, Flair's going to come out. He's going to be like him and Sting, rivals forever. Blah, 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 blah. And while he does it, he's going to work in a subtle few digs at Anderson. Nothing like overboard, just to like sort of tease that there's tension between the two of them. And then in our first match, in a match that had some good action, but not much in the way of heat, Brian Pillman defeated Jushin Thunder Liger in 8:21 by pinfall with an Air Pillman, and that got us a 74. And the colour commentary gave this match a boost, which is good. Then Hulk Hogan comes out to cut his promo on the Taskmaster. He's basically going to say that the Dungeon of Doom is going to be destroyed by the power of Hulkamania, that him, Randy Savage, and who's the other team member again? Him, Savage, and Sting are going to take out the Dungeon of Doom, whether they have a 4th man or not. So after that got us an 86 as well. That's really good. We're getting really good ratings so far, which is great. After he finishes his interview, the Giant and the Zodiac come out. They both attack Hogan. Well, the Taskmaster are coming out with them as the manager. When who comes out to make the save, then our newest signing / defector from the WWE, Lex Luger, who runs out to make the big attack on Dungeon of Doom, revealing himself to be Hogan's 4th man on the team. So the match currently, I'm going to make it. I'm not decided whether to put the Giant in it or not. He might be in it, he might not, but we'll see the now. But yeah, this storyline's going quite well so far. And let's keep going. Meng took on Randy Savage in a bit of featured great action and a good crowd. Randy Savage defeated Meng in 12:35 by pinfall. I got us a 79. They got us a 79 and they had bad chemistry, which is very impressive indeed. So I'm quite very pleased with that. Anderson cuts a promo on Flair, basically playing up that there's some tension between them. Basically putting himself over a bit, explaining his motives and that sort of thing. Continue, and in our main event, I bet it featured great action and great heat from the audience. Sting defeated Ric Flair in 13-19 by pinfall with a bulldog. What a finish. During the match we also had Arn Anderson distract Flair. Sting makes defense number 4 of his WCW United States Championship. I got an 85. So it's a big win for Sting over Flair. A big closing segment, a very good rating for our final match. Anyway, so then I got an 84 overall, increased our popularity in 19 regions, which I'm very pleased with. So all in all, a very good first show. We'll continue on so we can see how we did against Raw, as you can look at these pictures of Sunny and read about Masahito Kakihara. I'm not sure you pronounce that name. He's Japanese apparently. Anyway, I'm going to go through some of the comments on the first episode, because a lot of you had suggestions for folk I have to hire. Some people wanted me to hire Johnny Saint. I'm going to hire Johnny Saint because he qualifies as a cruiserweight under the cruiserweight title that's in the game. So I thought I might have him in as like a seasoned veteran in the cruiserweight division. Who else did people want me to hire? Some people want me to hire Steve Corino, which I've done, because I really like Steve Corino. And for TJG3, as a special treat, I have tried to steal D'Lo Brown from the WWF, so I hope you really appreciate that I hired D'Lo Brown specifically for you. Because, well, I don't mind D'Lo, but he's not like amazing. He's not like my favourite wrestler or anything. You have unread emails. Let's look at, I can't look at Raw. But good at the ratings. Let's have a look at media, TV shows. Wait, there's a one that's like what was on last night. I know that's a thing. Maybe it's not. Here we go. TV shows. Monday, last rating. We absolutely trounced Raw. We got almost double their rating on prime time, which is a very good result indeed. I'm very happy about that, actually. Like, look at that. Like, they weren't even close to us. Not even close. Because with, if you're wondering why Raw isn't on this little list of what was held last night, Raw used to be pre-taped on a Tuesday, so it's not here because they'll hold the Raw for next week this Tuesday, so it's not going to be there. But anyway, I'm very pleased with that so far. I'll show you the new folk I was going to hire. D'Lo, we've got Steve Corino and Johnny Saint. Mostly because I really, really like Johnny Saint and I hadn't thought of him. And he's still a wrestler. Look, he's 54, 53. And he's still a wrestler. What a man. So yeah. Calling into this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. If you guys have any, ideas or suggestions or anything like that, be sure to put in the comments. If you haven't subscribed and you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next one.